Embarrassing loss for the Washington Commanders as we take the L 34-27. Embarrassing loss for this team. The defense sucks. I don't want to see this defense ever again. I want a new identity for this defense this week. Let's get those likes up on the stream. Let's get to 5 likes already. Everyone in here smash the like button. I can't believe it either. I said, coming into this, I said I knew the Falcons were going to start fast. I knew the Falcons were going to look good, but I did not know that the Falcons were going to come out there and kill us. I'd like to see a better effort from Dan Quinn's team, but this was pathetic. Terrible work just shows the importance of Terry and JD5. It does. And the defense was garbage. The defense was absolutely trash. I mean, the defense was awful. It was terrible. So I don't want to ever watch this defense again. We're going to have questions about Joe Witt Jr. We're going to start having questions about Joe Witt Jr. and his ability to coach. We're going to have questions about Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner was horrific today. Bobby Wagner was bad today. Bobby Wagner trying to cover Bijan Robinson was pathetic. It was awful. So we are really going to have to start having questions about this defense and quite frankly, Bobby Wagner as well. And I was thinking I was going to have to say that about Mike Sammerstow, but he ended up getting a pick at the end of the game. Sloppy performance, a lot of penalties. Again, I talked about it last week. I talked about it in week 1. Penalties. All right, how are we going to clean up the penalties? How are we going to fix the penalties? We just killed ourselves with penalties again. The penalties were another bad part of today's game. But what else is new, right? Penalties have killed us. A lot of things have just killed us this year. Big Luke did his thing. Yeah, I mean, Luke was solid today. I said one other wide receiver had to show up. Luke did. So smash the like button if you're just joining though. Early like goal on the stream is 10 likes. Let's get there. But Luke did his thing today. He looked really good, but he was like the only player that looked, really good. Witt was not the guy to be the DC dude. We have to go full defense, switch up because we have way too many old players on this team. I agree. By the way, guys, super chat goal is 5 super chats. Send your thoughts in a super chat. You can click the target button with the 0 out of 5 on it. Send your thoughts in a super chat. Let's get that goal kicked off. Marshawn liability. Marshawn was trash. I mean, Marshawn has been awful in quite frankly every game this year. Marshawn has been awful in every single game this year. So we got 15 people in here. So I need 20 likes on the stream. Let's hit 20 likes on the stream, y'all. This is pathetic, right? Marshawn has been awful this year. I feel like something's going to happen with Marshawn. When he gets down on himself, he gets down on himself. But also, we got to talk about Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner was trash today. He was awful today. He was not good. He cannot cover a person out there. Bobby Wagner could not cover. Now, I did like what I saw from Frankie Luvu. He was all right. This sucks. I know. Lattimore is cooked. Lattimore is cooked. It was awful. Jewett Jr. Can go. Yeah, he can go. Don't even let him into the building tomorrow. He can go. And I said this, earlier this offseason. I said, listen, he was already on the hot seat coming into this year. Like, he's on the hot seat. He's done, right? So he can go. Joe Jr. can go. He got taken to the woodshed. First off, week 2, Matt LaFleur, he got taken to the woodshed. Now look at this. Not a good defensive coordinator. Marshawn cannot cover. 2 things happen when it comes to Marshawn Lattimore. And shout out to Burgundy Blog on X. But 2 things happen when Marshawn Lattimore is covering a player. 2 things happen. It's a penalty or it's a catch. Sometimes, like today, it's both. It's a penalty and a catch. But usually it's a penalty or a catch with Marshawn Lattimore. I'm tired of watching it. Even the guy that I thought was our best cornerback today or this whole season, Trey Amos, he had a sloppy performance. But we got 20 people in here, so I need 20 likes on the stream. Everyone in here, let's get those likes up. Everyone hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button on the channel if you're not subscribed. Also, super chat goal is 5 super chats. Somebody kick the super chat goal off. Send your thoughts about this game in a super chat. Keeps the channel running. Defense doesn't work. Marshawn is trash. Fire the defensive coordinator. I agree. That's on the D coordinator putting Bobby on coverage. Exactly. But when he put Bobby in coverage, he was bad. But yes, that is on Witt for putting him in coverage. That was bad, right? Lattimore looked bad every game. He's been terrible every single game this year. Terrible. It is BS. The defense, I mean, no confidence. You talk about confidence. I had no confidence in this defense going into that last drive. When it was 31-24, I had no confidence in the defense. And that's just something that it sucks, when you don't have confidence in your own defense. There is no confidence in this defense when it was 31-24. None at all. But we got 28 people in here. Let's get up to 30 likes in the stream. Everyone, let's get those likes up. If you're just joining or you've been in here, hit the like button on today's stream. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. For the defensive coordinator, I agree. The defense could not stop more third downs. This wouldn't even be a conversation. I agree. Joe Whitless. Really need to look for new DC defensive coordinator. Yeah, I agree. We cannot stop the pass. I mean, there is so many. I mean, you look at our zone defense, the gaps in the zone defense this year have been terrible. You know, the gaps, I mean, it's almost like every time, like one of those plays, Bobby Wagner was not even in the picture. One of those plays, Wagner was not even in the picture. So it was bad to say the least. But we got 30 people in here. That means we should have at least 30 likes on today's stream. Everyone in here, smash the like button on today's stream. Lattimore has got to go. He's got to go, right? He's been terrible this year. And I knew it was wishful thinking. Coming into this year, I knew it was wishful thinking, talking about Lattimore, right? We all thought, oh, he was going to be good. He's going to step back. He was just hurt last year. He's going to be fine. It's wishful thinking. He was never going to be fine. His injuries are always going to stop him. He's never going to go back to old Lattimore, old good Lattimore, right? Never going to go back to that. So I thought we was going to score a touchdown instead of a field goal for real, and then we would have had a game, hopefully. Yeah. But we just couldn't do that. I mean, yeah. So the whole secondary is questionable, not just Lat. Again, yeah. I mean, you could argue that. You could argue that. But Lattimore has been the worst, but you could argue that. I said, I mean, the gaps in this zone defense have just been, I mean, they're massive. I mean, it's like every time there's a gap in the zone defense. Like, again, Wagner wasn't even in the picture on one play. He wasn't even in the picture. I mean, it was just awful. So we got 36 people in here. Let's try to hit 40 likes on today's stream. Let's try to hit 40 likes on today's stream. Everyone hit the like button, whether you've been in here or you just joined. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're in here and you're not subscribed. Yeah, we do have 40 people in here now, so we need 40 likes on today's stream. Everyone hit the like button. But how are we feeling? Send your thoughts in a super chat. If you could send your thoughts in a super chat, that'd be greatly appreciated because we are trying to hit 5 super chats on this stream. That is the goal. So 5 super chats is what we need today, y'all. One turnover gave us life, but defense overall, no potential, no confidence in the defense, no potential for this defense this year. It sucks. This would have been a good linebacker group in 2018. Exactly. And again, I still think Luvu was all right, but yeah. I know JD5 hot. We need his energy back next game. Yeah. I mean, JD5, I was thinking about this during the game. JD5 was, you know, he's probably sitting at home, like, because he didn't travel to the game today. He was probably sitting at home like, what is Dan Quinn doing? Not letting me play. But thank you, by the way, for your awesome content. Hey, you're greatly appreciated, man. Or greatly appreciate you. So thank you, Jay, for that. At least Matt Gay looked good. Yeah, Matt Gay was good. I mean, we talk about it. Matt Gay was the only good thing today, right? No, I'm just joking. I think Mariota was all right today, right? I don't think Mariota was awful today, but again, it just was not, you know, the best game for anybody, right? Mariota certainly played better last week, but we got 45 people in here. Let's hit 50 likes on today's stream. Let's hit 50 likes on today's stream. That requires everybody in here to hit the like button. Let's get those likes up. Chargers are going to lose to New York and will take it out on us next week. And that's exactly what the Falcons did today. They lost to the Panthers 30-0 last week. I knew it. Last Sunday, I knew it. I knew this team was going to give one up to the Falcons because the Falcons were going to come out here with firepower, ready to beat us. So how many times did Atlanta punt? Once, maybe. I know they punted at least once. Disappointed? Same, Michael. I'm disappointed. JD6, yeah. Jackson Dart. Oh, man. Defense lost this game. I agree. The defense was awful. No one to open up defense over the top, even if JD5 played, need wide receivers over the top. Yeah, we didn't have Terry. That's another thing. We didn't have Terry today. So it's bad. You know, the whole team disappointed. And we are now 2-2. And if it would happen to come down to a tie over anything, if there's any tie at the end of the season for, say, 7th seed in the NFC, the Falcons get it. This is a big conference loss. So that's the most disappointing thing as well. But I need everyone in here to smash that like button. Hit that like button if you're in here. We need 50 likes on today's stream. Also, we need 5 super chats on today's stream. So let's get the super chat goal kicked off, y'all. We need 5 super chats on today's stream. Send your thoughts about today's game in a super chat. If you could do that, it keeps the channel running. So DQ needs to do something about the defense right now, not later. I agree. you're not going to fire Joe Witt Jr. right now because that's just not how they roll. But we'll see. I mean, certainly, right? We have so much potential, but it's not just working. This has to change. Yeah, Malik Neighbors did tear his ACL. So thank you for the report. He did tear his ACL. We should sign Crowder. I mean, sure, Crowder, that wouldn't be a bad move because Crowder, I mean, you think about it, he knows the offense. He's familiar with the scheme. He's a fast wide receiver. He's a good player. So, I mean, yeah, it's, you could do that, but I don't know. So, but let's get to 50 likes on today's stream. Everyone in here, smash that like button on the stream. 50 likes on today's stream is the goal. Let's get to 50 likes on the stream today. Also, subscribe to the channel. If you're in here and you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Next week, we have to take this loss out on the Chargers. We can't keep doing this win-loss thing. Yeah, I agree. And yeah, this should give us motivation for next week. Next week, go out there, kill the Chargers, right? And we'd still be 3-2. But again, 2-2 is not ideal. You don't want to be 2-2. You don't want to start slow, right? We want to be 3-1 after this. And you would think that the Falcons would be one of the easiest teams on the schedule for this first part of the year. And we couldn't get it done. But I don't blame Terry for being out. Luke scored. That's the same thing. No loss there. But the explosive plays given up repeatedly was the difference. Yeah, I mean, again, that comes down to the defense and how bad they were. That comes down to the defense, right? Giving up those explosive plays. So, again, it's bad, right? It's bad stuff today. Do you think Dan Quinn regrets not starting Jaden Daniels? Probably, because you don't want to drop to 2-2. You want to win this game. I mean, this is one of the easiest opponents you're going to play in the first few weeks of the season. So you had to win this game. Offense was disappointing too. They couldn't capitalize after that pick. They were. I mean, a little bit disappointing. Not as disappointing as the defense, but they were disappointing for sure. But again, guys, we're trying to hit 5 super chats on today's stream. We are trying to hit 5 super chats on today's stream. So this super chats keep the channel running. Send your thoughts about today's game in a super chat. Somebody kick the super chat goal off if you could do that. Joe Witt Jr. needs to be examined. I agree. He's definitely on the hot seat. He was on the hot seat coming in this year. He's on the hot seat now. Defense, no good. Yeah, defense was not good for the Commanders. You were right about that. But we got 50 people in here, so we need 50 likes on today's stream. Everyone, whether you've been in here or you just joined, hit the like button on today's stream. We need 50 likes on the stream. I was hoping for a 5-2 start. Still time. There is still time, and you have to win 3 straight. But again, you would have liked to start way better, right? You would have liked to start way better, way hotter this year. So that's my thing, right? And again, if it comes down to a tie for the 7th seed, same record, like, then you have to look towards the Falcons. They would have the advantage over us. The Falcons beat us today. And so it just, again, it sucked. It was awful. I mean, so it's hard. It's a hard loss to take. It's embarrassing, quite honest. It's embarrassing, quite honestly. So it's bad stuff from the team today. Again, penalties killed us. I thought Luke had a really good game. I mean, I thought Luke looked pretty good today, right? But Luke was a bright spot. But really, I mean, who else? So yeah, Chargers. I saw that Chargers lost to the Giants. So great. Chargers are gonna have to win next week. Like, oh man, L after L after L today. It just sucks, man. This team. Oh, I mean, I had a feeling, I had an itch. I told y'all that I felt like the Falcons were gonna start fast today. You just knew that the Falcons, after losing that bad to the Panthers, you knew they were gonna come out here with firepower, trying to really come out here and kill us. And that's what they did, right? They dominated. Lattimore needs help. Why he's by himself getting beat. I mean, and Amos was by himself a few times as well. Amos by himself a few times, and Amos got beat a few times. It was bad today. I hate people being so miserable in the situations. It's week 4. We can still make plays and win games. We can go 10-7, 11-6, and still make the playoffs. But that's the second win on this, on the look of this team. Right? We're now 2-2, and we wanted to be 3-1. We wanted to take care of a team that was perceived to be one of the easiest opponents in our first few weeks of the season. That's why we're a little bit negative. But Amos and Jones were better than Lattimore. They could have played them more. So we don't have Jonathan Jones. Jonathan Jones is on IR. So I don't know why you're saying that, but Jonathan Jones is on IR. But anyways, Commanders lose 34-27 over the Falcons. Again, sloppy game, ugly game. Uh, Carolina held the Falcons to 0 points and we gave up 34. So the NFL is so week to week. It's crazy. The NFL is so week to week. And this week, coming into this just wasn't our week. I mean, I knew it coming in. I just knew it coming in. I said, the Falcons have, we beaten the Falcons 5 years in a row. They're coming off a 30-0 loss. And here we are. We're sitting here with a 34-27 loss. And so it sucks to be here in this position. But this is how the NFL works. Hopefully we can go out there and beat the Chargers because I know dang well we cannot be 2-3 next week. We cannot be 2-3 next week. So you would have loved to start at 3-1. You would have loved to come out of here with a W, but you didn't do it and you didn't execute and you had too many penalties and your defense could not stop a soul. I mean, the defense was terrible today. So the defense didn't do anything. And so when your defense can't make plays, when your defense is sucking, then I don't know what to tell you. So the defense was absolutely terrible today. And this defense, we're gonna have to have questions all year about the defense now. Wagner could not cover anyone, and the gaps in this zone defense are awful. I mean, it's just awful. But we got 32 people in here. I need one of y'all to send a super chat. So we need 5 super chats on today's stream. That's the goal. 5 super chats is the goal for today's stream. Click the target button with a 0 out of 5 on it to send a super chat. And you can send your thoughts on the game in a super chat or just send a super chat. And that would be greatly appreciated because that keeps the channel running, helps the channel out a lot. The Eagles have the Bucks number. Cliff don't like to run the ball. He doesn't. And, Bill had what, like 2 carries throughout the first quarter, right? It wasn't as bad as the Packers game, but it was bad today. It was bad today, but it was not as bad as the Packers game. And so you came out flat and you couldn't execute and you just looked terrible today. So, we kind of knew from the start, like you saw Bijan running all over us. You even saw Tyler Algier running all over our defense. You saw Penix throwing dots. And at that point, even in the first quarter, we were like, it's going to be that type of day, isn't it? It's going to be that type of day, isn't it? Where this team comes out and we can't do anything right. And certainly it was that type of day. So it was just that type of day for us. And coming into this, again, I had a feeling. I was hoping we could come out of here and beat a team like the Falcons, but they couldn't do it. And so they didn't execute. But subscribe to the channel if you're in here and you're not subscribed, by the way. Also, hit the like button if you have not done so. If you have not hit the like button on today's stream, make sure you hit the like button. 50 likes is today's like goal. Also, send a super chat. I know one of y'all can send a super chat, so if you could, that would be greatly appreciated. Send a super chat. We're trying to hit 5 super chats on today's stream. Too many penalties, 2 that killed us, and that's been the problem again. In other games this year, that's been the problem. Penalties have been a major problem this year. So you got to get past the penalties. I mean, I don't know what you got to work on it in practice. Too many false starts, too many holdings, too many PIs. And again, Lattimore, when they target him, it's either a PI or it's a catch, right? Too many penalties. We need to build a younger team. We need to build a younger defense. We can't rely on veterans that aren't in their prime anymore to lead this defense. I agree. Mismatches on defense was coaching. Marshawn cannot play number 1 receivers. That needs to change. I agree. Trainwell needs to switch up defending top receivers. Renell Winchester, thank you for the super chat. Thanks for the reviews at Carter. Yeah, thank you so much, man, for the super chat. We now have 1 out of 5 super chats, so we only need 4 more super chats, y'all. So appreciate you for the super chat, though. Greatly appreciate you. You know this keeps the channel running, so you are welcome for the reviews. Thank you so much. Bobby is a serious liability in coverage. He is, and you're not wrong about that. He is definitely a bad player in coverage. He cannot cover a soul today. So certainly, again, we got to hope that he gets better in coverage, but he certainly hasn't showed any signs of it. So I mean, he's just slow. He couldn't cover a soul. He was just slow, right? And so we just came out flat today. Again, we couldn't execute. Just bad stuff. Lamar Bowers, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for the 5-piece. You are a GOAT. You know, this keeps the channel running as well. So appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for your generosity. Greatly appreciate you. We only need 3 more super chats, y'all. So 3 more super chats is the goal, y'all. I wish we could have had a younger defense. But thank you again, Lamar. I'll leave this up a little bit because you are so kind for that. He can't clover a running back or tight end. A cover a running back or tight end. Yes, you're right. So again, yeah, I mean, it's just you know, and again, I said one of those plays, he wasn't even in the picture. One of those plays, he wasn't even in the picture. So bad from him. But let's get to 40 likes on the stream. Let's get to 40 likes on the stream today. Everyone in here, make sure you hit the like button. If you're in here and you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel though. But how are we feeling about today's game? I know that I'm definitely not happy about this. Definitely sucks that we lost this game. And, you know, you couldn't come out here and lose this game. I'm not going to go as far as to say the season's over, but listen, this is a big loss. And again, this is a conference opponent. Like, if you would have lost to the Raiders last week, it's not a conference opponent. It's not a team that, you know, it's not a team that you really have to fear. But the Falcons are a team that could easily tie with us in playoff seeding, and they would get the advantage. But, you know, that's the way it goes, I guess, right? You win some, you lose some. And certainly when you have guys that just come out here and they play like this, the defense, it sucks, right? Bro, we should have gave Bill the ball more. And I feel like that's the story after every game. I feel like every game this year, that's the story, right? We should have, handed the ball off to Bill more, but I can't control it. So I don't know what to say, but let's get to 50 likes on today's stream. Let's get to 50 likes on today's stream. Everyone in here, hit the like button. Whether you just joined or you've been in here, subscribe to the channel. If you're in here and you're not subscribed, don't hesitate to do so. Would greatly appreciate it. Lucky Chuck, we look slow and tired on defense. Age is showing. Age is showing. We certainly are one of the, oldest teams in the league. We might actually be the oldest team in the league by stat. And so you're right about it, right? One of the oldest teams in the NFL. It showed up today. So you're right about that. This is one of those winnable games. We just dropped the ball. Every game is tough for us. I said yes. This is the game that you felt like out of the first 5 to 6 weeks out of the first 4 weeks was one of the easiest opponents to play. You felt like you should have came out here and won this game, and you didn't do it. And it's just, it all set up bad. Again, we beat the Falcons 5 years in a row, right? The Falcons lost last week 30-0. And I think that's the biggest factor is the Falcons lost 30-0 last week. I think that's the biggest factor, right? That's the biggest factor on why they came out. They look so good this week. But we need 3 more super chats, y'all. So don't hesitate to send a super chat. It definitely keeps the channel moving, helps me out a lot. So we need 3 more super chats to hit today's goal. 4-0 Eagles, I saw. It sucks. We do need a younger team, but this is going to require more draft picks. It is. And so as much as I wanted to get this thing done this year, we are still way ahead of schedule. Like, the positive is we're still way ahead of schedule, and we do have JD5. But, bro, I can't even blame the offensive line. Even with the game-changing pick with your defense, can't get a stop. Again, going into one of those final drives, I said I have no confidence in this defense. None at all. No confidence in this defense. No confidence in them making a play and getting this done. No confidence whatsoever. Sure enough, they didn't get it done. And that's just how poor this defense is. They couldn't get it done. And I had no confidence going into that last drive. None whatsoever. So it was sloppy on all sides of it. And I thought Debo looked good today. I thought Luke McCaffrey was solid today, but there was only a few bright spots today. And again, most of it was just awful. So our zone defense needs work. There's too many gaps in it. Joe Witt Jr. is on the hot seat for sure. And we are now sitting at 2-2, as BJ says. We are not ahead of schedule. We definitely regressed on offense and set back 5 years on defense. We didn't set back 5 years on defense, Sean. I don't believe that to be true. But we are ahead of schedule. Yes, we are ahead of schedule. You look at what we did last year. We are ahead of schedule. So, but make sure you smash that like button if you have not done so yet. Let's get to 50 likes on today's stream. Also, 3 more super chats is what we need to hit the super chat goal. We're trying to reach 5 super chats. We need 3 more right now. So help me to reach that goal. We need a real linebacker in the room that is not old, that can't cover, or that only good for covering. Again, Luvu's good. I mean, I hope Jordan McGee, what I hope is Jordan McGee can step into that role and McGee can come out there and look solid. But we set expectations to be champs and deliver subpar performances. When we need it at most. But hey, the kicker was good today and players are stepping up. Players are stepping up and the kicker was good today. The kicker was good today. So what did he go? 4-4 or something like that. So yeah, I mean, that's again, Matt Gay, he was good today. But everyone else, Luke McCaffrey was good today. But most of it was just trash, right? I say we have to rebuild this defense. I mean, we got to go younger, right? The defense has to get younger. But for this year, we're going to have to thug it out. And we do have injuries. I'm not a guy to sit here and, make excuses, but we did have Terry out today. We did have Jaden out today. We have Jonathan Jones and Dietrich Weiss on IR. We do have injuries. So this team is not at full strength. So we have to stop playing Luvu and Wagner at the same time. We need McGee out in coverage with Bobby. I mean, they'll consider it. Lattimore needs to get cut today. He's not getting cut today. He's not getting cut this year. Just because what they traded for Lattimore, he's not getting cut today. But let's take a look at Lattimore's stats through his 4 games. Before we'll get some of these comments real quick. At the quarterback position, we are ahead of schedule. However, that is not sorry about that. That is not the case for other positions. Overall, we are not in a bad position, but we are close to a finished product. Not close to a finished product. Yeah, I agree. Next week will be huge. I don't want to drop to 2-3. I mean, I'm not dropping to 2-3, right? So Commander Lorian, Joey doesn't use his personnel correctly. Madrano needs to be in the game during passing downs. I could see that. B-Wags can't cover anymore. It's a criminal to expect him to. Yeah, I mean, he's old, right? He's old. His 15th year in the league. He's old. So you're right about that, right? That's definitely a great comment. But yeah, yo, let's get to 5 super chats today. Send your thoughts about the game in a super chat if you could do that. We only need 3 more super chats. The goal is 5. We only need 3 more. So let's get some super chats in here. That definitely keeps the channel moving. Also, hit the like button. Whether you just joined or you've been in here for a while, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, also subscribe to the channel. Make sure you do so. So don't hesitate to do so. Definitely helps me out a lot. But Marshawn Lattimore through 4 games has 20 targets against him, 11 catches allowed, 173 yards, 9 first downs, 6 penalties, and 3 15-yard plus completions. So that's Marshawn Lattimore through 4 games, if you wonder. That's how bad it is. So we're going to have to analyze Lattimore. We're going to have to analyze Wagner. We're going to have to analyze Joe Witt Jr. We're going to have to analyze the whole defense because they were bad today. And also, I said we had to create pressure and get to Michael Penix. They didn't create pressure. I mean, half the time the defensive line was not there. So half the time they weren't there. Half the time the defense didn't show up. The defensive line didn't show up. So in all, the defense was just bad in all today. But let's get to 50 likes on today's stream. If you're in here and you haven't hit the like button, make sure you do that. Definitely helps me out a lot. Let's get to 50 likes on today's stream. I would put Mikey back on the outside and move Lattimore inside. Mikey is struggling in the slot because he played outside all last season. He definitely has struggled in the slot. But he was bad today. Like, let's get this straight. He was bad today before he got that pick. So Mikey was bad today before he got that pick. Let's get that straight too, right? So again, it's not time to fire Joe Witt Jr. yet, but he is right on that hot seat. He is right on that hot seat. He's definitely not returning next year, but it's not some deal where we're going to fire, him tomorrow because Dan Quinn does not do that to his guys. So that would never happen, but as much as we want it to. But I said Joe Witt Jr. was on the hot seat last year. He's on the hot seat. So we'll keep an eye on what he does this year, but it was bad by the whole team today. Let's take a look at some stats. While I pull up the stats here, make sure you guys hit the like button on today's stream. 50 likes on the stream is the goal for today. Everyone in here, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button if you are not subscribed to the channel. Also, send a super chat. Kenny Davis, thank you so much for the super chat, man. You know this helps the channel out a lot. You know this keeps my channel going. Thank you for the super chat, Kenny. He writes, I think the defense good enough to get it done. It's Joe Witt not setting up the players. You could have a point there. And that again falls back on Joe Witt Jr. And I said that Joe Witt Jr. puts Bobby Wagner in spots to cover players. Don't put him in those spots if you know he can't cover. So again, you're right. A lot of it falls back on Joe Witt Jr. and him not setting it up right for the players. So again, thank you, Kenny Davis, for the super chat. You're a generous man. Thank you for that. But you're right. I disagree. It's time to fire Witt, but of course, Quinn is too friendly. He is, right? Again, that's why I said, like, he's not going to go out there and fire him tomorrow. He's not going to do that. But he certainly knows he's on the hot seat. Washington Carter is the future of sports commentary and media. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you, Michael. Greatly appreciate you, Michael. I hope to be that one day. I definitely love covering this team right now. But we need 2 more super chats, y'all. We need 2 more super chats to fulfill the goal today. Let's get 2 more super chats in here today. Thank you all who have already sent super chats. Make sure y'all smash the like button on today's stream. Hit the subscribe button on the channel if you're not subscribed. But we are just going over some stats today. Let's look at some of these stats. Let's look at some of these stats today. So we'll see what Mariota did exactly at the stats side of things. So the Commanders are 2-2 after today, as we all know. Let me pull up the box score here. Okay, Marcus Mariota, he was 16-27, 156 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So that's, again, 156 yards passing. It's not great. It's not great. That stat speaks something as well. Chris Rodriguez was your leading rusher today with 7 carries for 59 yards. Your second leading rusher was Bill with 7 carries for 47 yards. Marcus Mariota had 2 carries, 20 yards. Chris Moore, 1 carry, 9 yards. Deebo Samuel, 3 carries for 9 yards. Deebo Samuel, 6 carries for 72 yards and a touchdown. Luke McCaffrey, 2 receptions, 21 yards, 1 touchdown. And then I thought Luke was good today. Zach Ertz, 2 receptions, 21 yards. Jalen Lane, 2 receptions, 18 yards. So Jalen Lane fumbled the ball twice, but again, none of it did anything to hurt us. Your leading tackler was Bobby Wagner. Frankie Louvu was your second leading tackler. If we look at the sacks for today, Frankie Louvu did have a sack today, and no one else came up with a sack today. So those were your stats for today. Let's take a look at the Falcons side of things. Michael Penix was 20-26, 313 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Thinking about what he did last week versus the Panthers, you can't have those type of stats. But let's get those likes up, y'all. 50 likes is the like goal, so I need everyone in here to hit the like button. Matter of fact, let's get to 100 likes on today's stream because we're going to be on here for a while. Everyone in here, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button if you're in here, you're not subscribed. I would definitely get to some of these comments in a second. But to ensure your comment is read, send a super chat to make sure your comment is read. We only need 2 more to fulfill today's goal. Anyways, Bijan Robinson, 17 carries, 75 yards, and a touchdown. We couldn't stop Robinson. We couldn't stop Bijan Robinson. Okay, that's also something that happened today. Tyler Algier, 16 carries, 51 yards, 1 touchdown. Couldn't stop Algier either. Drake London, 8 receptions, 110 yards, and a touchdown. Bijan Robinson, 4 receptions, 106 yards. Unacceptable. Sorry. Kyle Pitts, 5 receptions, 70 yards. Their leading tackler was Jesse Bates. Xavier Watts had an interception today. Again, just sloppy all around. The whole team was sloppy, and it's awful, right? Get with the F out of here. I agree. It was bad today. And we think about week 2. He was the problem week 2 as well. He got taken to the woodshed by Matt LaFleur. He he's not a top level defensive coordinator. I think Dan Quinn should take over defensive play calling duties right now. We need more younger, faster, dynamic players in the defense, especially at linebacker position and also defensive backs. And I think I think the biggest thing is like we have Jordan McGee and Kay Madrano right there, but they never play. So, but again, I don't make those decisions. So, our defense sucks. Again, yeah, they do. There's no other way to put it. Our defense sucks. I had the final drive of that game. I had no confidence in the defense. Our defense sucks. So, but let's get to 50 likes on today's stream. Everyone in here, if you have not hit the like button yet, make sure you do so. 50 likes. Let's get there. Another noticeable difference was the size and athleticism of the Falcons' skilled players on offense. Seems they were consistently able to have their way with our defense. I agree. I mean, every time, whether it was third down, we couldn't get a stop. Whether it was fourth down, we couldn't get a stop. Like it was just, it was awful. You know, every time we could not get a stop. So, do you think Dan Quinn could replace Joe Witt Jr. by the end of the season? Yeah, for sure. I mean, if Witt keeps this up, Carter, if Witt keeps this up, it'll be Dan Quinn by the end of the season, right? I wonder how Preston Smith coming along. I mean, put him on the field. Put him on the field. Speaking of new players, let's talk about new players today. Darnell Savage. Let's talk about new players today. Darnell Savage gave up a touchdown. I can't remember who it was to, but he gave up a touchdown. Might have been to Bijan Robinson, matter of fact. Gave up a touchdown to him. Like, Darnell Savage was bad today. Even new players are bad. Where is Preston Smith at? Why can't Preston Smith play? What's the deal? Why can't Preston Smith play? What's his problem? I just don't understand. This team. But make sure you smash the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel, by the way. Also, hit the like button on today's stream. Let's get to 50 likes on the stream. But, oh boy, was it ugly. Commanders at Falcons ended in a 34-27 score with the Falcons winning this game. Commanders dropped to 2-2, and it's embarrassing. I mean, when you talk to people that aren't Commanders fans, how'd you lose to the Falcons? It's embarrassing. Right? Especially when we want to carry this identity, when we want to carry this face. I don't want to lose to Falcons, right? I agree. Bring him in and let him play. I mean, it cannot be that hard to learn the defense. It cannot be that hard. Joe Witt, he's the problem today, right? You look at this day, you look at this score, you say, how'd the Commanders lose? Joe Witt Jr. So, Joe Witt Jr. is the problem because he didn't like the Preston Smith signing. According to his interview, he had it when we signed him. He was definitely, he was definitely iffy on it. But I think Joe Witt Jr. sucks. I'm tired of watching it, to be honest with you, especially after week 2. But let's get to 50 likes on today's stream. Whether you've been in here a while, whether you're just joining, let's get to 50 likes on today's stream. Everyone smash the like button. And again, guys, super chat goal is 5 super chats. We're only 2 super chats away. So let's get just 2 more super chats to fulfill today's goal. But again, it was ugly. And you hate to see it. You hate to see this team come out there and look that bad. But it's over now, and we're 2-2. Now we have to go on the road to LA and play a Chargers team that has been solid this year. Now, they did lose to the Giants, but they've been good this year. Hey, watch Justin Herbert go out there and look like Joe Montana next week. Watch Justin Herbert go out there and look like Tom Brady next week. The staff is very averse to allowing newer players and especially younger players get playing time. Yeah, and you can see that, sometimes they allow, newer guys to sit some and kind of sit back and learn. But we need Preston Smith. It's not like we can allow this to. We need Preston Smith. That's the problem. You need Preston Smith to play. You need him on your defense. Herbert going for 400 plus, throwing Lattimore away. Yeah, I mean, every time, bro. Every time. That's what he's going to do every time. Because, I mean, who wouldn't throw against Lattimore? Even Geno freaking Smith was throwing against Lattimore. It's embarrassing to have a cornerback like that who you traded so many picks for. You traded so many assets for, and he gives up plays consistently on a week-to-week basis. And again, I would like to say Trey Amos, a rookie, is the best cornerback on this team, but I don't know if I can say Trey Amos is the best rookie on this team or the best cornerback on this team because he gave up plays today. But I guess everybody has their mishaps. And I would love to have a conversation about Mikey Sarenstow. I said Mikey was not good today, but then he got an interception and it kind of made up for it. So he is. He's St. Juice 2.0. He is. So it's exactly what he is. It's embarrassing. It's truly embarrassing to have a cornerback like that who you traded so many assets for. It's embarrassing. But that's the nature of the NFL, I guess. That's what happens in the NFL. I mean, you go out there and you try to make you try to make moves with guys. You try to go out there and you try to acquire a quarterback who you think could be really good, and he just hasn't been, right? How many design pass plays have been to Ben Sinnott? This is a second round draft pick. And see, the thing with Ben Sinnott is he's a second round draft pick. That's why people have, aspirations for him to be a perfect second round pick. People have expectations for him to play like a second round pick because he was in the second round. If he was drafted as a fifth round pick, nobody would care. Nobody would care. But since they took him way too early and he's a fifth round pick or a second round pick, everybody expects him to be great. And I do too. It was a bad pick. Ben Sinnott, I'm not giving him any more time. He sucks. He sucks. And when we need him to block today, he got a holding call. Holding call, and we needed him to block. So Lattimore was a dog for the Saints. I don't know what's wrong with him. I mean, he's just washed. He's rinsed. He's old. Injuries have gotten to him. It's a combination of a lot of different things, right? I think that's what I would say on that situation. Combination of a lot of different things. But he's rinsed. And I've seen it time after time after time after time after time again. He's rinsed. So it just sucks to see this team, go out to Atlanta and just travel all that way for nothing, right? This team was awful today. But let's get those likes up on today's stream. Everyone in here, smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're in here and you happen to not be subscribed. Also, send a super chat. We only need 2 more super chats, y'all. We only need 2 more super chats on today's stream. That's it. So let's get just 2 more and we will fulfill that goal. Keeps the channel moving. But how are we feeling after this loss today? How are we feeling after this loss? I know that I feel like this team, let us down. This team let us down. This team was trash today. It was a rough day on defense. An excellent Falcons day on offense. Some chances late that we had, but Penix had help from us, because our defense sucked so bad. Penix had help. So, again, the bright spots today were surprisingly Matt Gay and what's his name? Luke McCaffrey. Those were the great players of the day. But as far as anybody else, nobody else was really good. So the whole team has to take accountability for this one, and they have to shake back against the Chargers next week. I don't really know how they're going to look against the Chargers because our defense, I mean, it's hard not to imagine that Herbert's just going to go out there and sling the ball all over, right? It's hard to imagine that that's not going to be the case. That's what it's hard to imagine. But I don't know. We'll see. But again, I think Herbert's going to go out there next week and kill us. We let Michael Penix establish an identity against us. We let Michael Penix kill us. So it definitely hurts, man. It definitely hurts being 2-2. You see the Eagles move to 4-0. This team is just they're not prepared. They're not prepared. So disappointed, but not too surprised. We do not have the depth at certain positions and talent at others. And again, yeah, that's where injuries come into play. Like, I hate to be the guy to make excuses, but Injuries are a major factor. We don't have Terry. We don't have Jaden. We don't have Dietrich Wise. We don't have Austin Eckler. We don't have Jonathan Jones. We're missing so many players that it's hard not to look at injuries and say, oh, this was the reason why we lost, right? Can you imagine what the Eagles would do to us? I mean, even Jalen Hurts would throw all over us, right? Even Jalen Hurts would have a field day on us. That's how bad this defense is. That's how bad this defense is. It was awful today. I cannot stress it enough. And like I said earlier, right off the bat, I knew that this game was the Falcons game. And yes, we had chances. Yes, we had opportunities to come back and maybe make some plays and score. And the team could not execute. And we knew it was going to be this type of day because the Falcons are coming off a 30-0 loss against the Panthers. We have beaten the Falcons 5 years in a row. The Falcons are now in Atlanta playing us. There were so many factors leading to this game that just make you think, what if the Falcons win this game? And they did. Sure enough, they did. I'm pissed off because everything was bad on both sides of the ball. Cliff play calling is an emotional roller coaster. Like, he's so inconsistent and predictable. He has gotten a little bit predictable, but he's certainly worth keeping, and he's certainly not as bad as freaking Joe Witt. So true injuries are definitely a factor. They are. They are certainly a factor. Kenny Davis with another super chat. Come on, man. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for the other super chat. Greatly appreciate you, Kenny Davis. Again, you know what this means. You know, it keeps the channel running. You know, it helps me out a lot. He says, why Debo don't get more targets since Terry out? Exactly. And Debo did have a solid day today. Debo did get the ball a lot today, but he should get even more targets. You're right, because Terry McLaurin's out, and we don't have another guy. I mean, coming into this game, who are we going to throw the ball to, right? Zach Ertz didn't get enough targets either. There was just a lot of things that were went screwed up about today. But yeah, so let's get to 50 likes on today's, or let's get to 60 likes on today's stream. I need everyone in here, whether you're just joining or you've been in here for a while. Let's get to 60 likes on today's stream. Everyone hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're in here and you're watching and you're not subscribed to the channel. Also, send a super chat. We only need one more super chat. Appreciate you, Kenny Davis, for sending multiple super chats this stream. You're definitely the go to this stream. But all we need is one more super chat. So, but again, y'all, how are we feeling out today? George Taylor writes, we are going 8-9 this year. Listen, I'm not going to go to that point, but you know, it's maybe not far off that, right? We might only get to 10 wins this year. We were right there despite the defense. 1 or 2 stops, we win. We just didn't have it today. Are we a bad road team this year? You know, I'd like to think that we aren't a bad road team this year, but I don't know, right? I don't know. Again, yeah, I would like to think we're not a bad road team. That certainly didn't affect us last year. So I hope we're not a bad, road team this year, but I don't know. I certainly think that this team is still a good football team, but the defense just continues to not show up. The defense does not show up ever. So that's the problem with it too. But I'm mad. It's going to take me a little while to get over this game. Definitely going to take me a little while to get over this game. It hurts. It's a terrible loss for the team, and it sucks to see. We're now 2-2, and I think we were so spoiled last year with how good this team was last year that when we lose this game, it sucks, right? So it's an embarrassing loss, to be honest. Especially if the Falcons did not lose to the Panthers by a score of 30-0, it wouldn't be that embarrassing, but it's embarrassing since that was the final score of that game, right? So an older team could be a liability due to more injuries, slower team speed, slower physical reaction, and overall endurance. I agree. The G-Man, I agree for that. Yeah, I agree. Colts are up 10-3 on the Rams, though. I'm watching these games right now. Man, it sucks that we just that sucks that we lost this game. Now we have to face the Chargers next week, though. Gotta face the Chargers next week. Gotta look to the Chargers next week, and Justin Herbert will look like Joe Montana next week. I guarantee it. So It just wasn't our day. It was not our game today. I know I've said that a lot, but it was not our game today. Not our game today. So we just couldn't execute. Whenever we needed a stop, we couldn't get a stop. Whenever we needed a score, we just couldn't get a score. And yes, Matt Gay was very good at kicking field goals today, but other than that, nothing else was positive. So a lot of injuries, a lot of things that you can blame, a lot of people that you can blame. But at the end of the day, I think the biggest X factor was ultimately what's his name? Joey Jr. So Commanders cornerbacks today, though. Let's go over this cornerback room today. Marshawn Lattimore had 6 targets, gave up 58 yards, and he had 2 penalties. Mike Samerstow had 5 targets, gave up 49 yards. He had an interception, though. Trey Amos had 4 targets, gave up 46 yards, and he had a penalty as well. So the cornerbacks were not good today. And it was a liability on the defensive side of the ball. Could not get anything done on the defensive side of the ball, and that's what it came down to. But let's get to 60 likes on today's stream. Whether you've been in here for a while or you're just joining, let's get to 60 likes on today's stream. Everyone smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button on the channel if you are not subscribed. Also, we only need one more super chat, y'all. We only need one more super chat. So let's get that if we could, to fulfill today's goal. But what are y'all thoughts, though? What are y'all thoughts on this game, though? Because I know that it sucks. It sucked, and I hated watching this. That was my thoughts. I hated watching it. It sucked. It was terrible. But anyways, Kenny Davis, man, coming in clutch again. Thank you so much, man. Thank you again for the $5 donation. Thank you for completing our goal today. He says all we had to do was kind of copy Carolina game a little bit. Again, yes, which they got pressure on Michael Penix. They put him in bad positions. They made him turn the ball over. All you had to do was copy off Carolina, and you didn't do that, and you didn't execute. And so, but thank you again for your generosity, Kenny. Thank you for sending this many super chats. Thank you for fulfilling the goal. Again, you know what this means for the channel. Thank you so much. I cannot stress thanking you enough for that. Anyways, overall grade C from the G-Man. Yeah, I mean, listen, because it wasn't as bad as the Packers game. Like, it wasn't that bad, but it was still bad. But yeah, it wasn't as bad as the Packers game for sure. DQ was obviously talking after the game. DQ said this stinks. We must grow. Our first 2 road games, we've started slow. Can't have that. So DQ certainly thinks, the road's a problem, right? Javonte Jean-Baptiste injury update as well. Javonte Jean-Baptiste walked out of the locker room with his right arm in a sling. Javonte Jean-Baptiste had a pec injury in the game. So Javonte Jean-Baptiste could be hurt. Dan Quinn also talked about third downs. He said on both offense and defense really hurt us today. So he's definitely right about that. But man, just awful. Poor defense today. Poor everything today, bro. Poor everything today. And man, I don't want to watch this team lose next week and fall below 500. Falling below 500 would be the ultimate letdown, right? So can't have that. But again, I'm not going to sit here and say the season's over. I don't think it's gotten to a point where the season's over, but I do think that this team needs to tighten up, fix the penalties, fix the defense, and improve in a lot of areas. But the season is not over. Also, let's get to 60 likes on today's stream. Whether you've been in here for a while, whether you're just joining, 60 likes on today's stream will be the goal. Also, subscribe to the channel. If you're in here and you're not subscribed. The G-Man writes he can't stay relatively healthy. That's going to be a problem for him. Yeah, it is. It is. And that's, we see that theme throughout the year or throughout, with players. A lot of times that's the theme, right? So, but Michael Robinson says injuries may stall our season out if we can't find valuable replacements. Yeah, the depth in the preseason, I wasn't thinking about injuries, but in the preseason, I also said depth is bad. We saw in the preseason we lost every single game in the preseason. We looked terrible in the preseason. We could not find a way to get it done in the preseason. The depth pieces were terrible in the preseason, and I knew that the depth was going to be a problem. I didn't think we would have to rely on the depth every single week, though. Well, here we are, and it looks like we're going to have to rely on the depth, and the depth is not good. So, I think Philly is the class of the league, though. But we got our butts kicked today, and we got everything kicked in today. Um, but there was some bright spots. Luke had another touchdown. Luke was super good on every return. Luke had some good plays, but other than Luke, I mean, who was, nobody else was great. Debo was fine, but again, it was just a lack of effort from the defense, and it was bad from the defense, right? So you came out there flat. You came out there and you stalled. Everything was bad. Again, from snap number one, it was bad. From snap number one, it was bad. So I just knew that this could be a trap game. It could be a trap game, and it was. It was a trap game. So got to find a way to move past it. I don't know how you're gonna move past it, but got to find a way to move past it. But we made Michael Penix look like freaking Joe Montana today. We made Michael Penix look like an absolute king today. We made Michael Penix look like the GOAT of all quarterbacks today. We made Michael Penix look amazing today. So Michael Robinson says we need a spark, hoping it's Jaden returning. Jaden Daniels, and I posted this video this morning. Jaden Daniels will return next week. So we're going to see Jaden Daniels out on the field. In fact, in today's game, the announcer said that Jaden Daniels had been medically cleared to play in this game. Jaden Daniels was medically cleared to play in this game, and Dan Quinn decided to sit him. Jaden Daniels was probably pissed after seeing this loss because now your team's 2-2. Now you have to fight back on the season, right? So, again, everything was ugly today, and there's no excuses. Joe Witt Jr., Marshawn Lattimore, very much on the hot seat. They are very much on the hot seat. So take it as you wish, but we will see Jaden back next week. I hope that we get Terry back next week, but I cannot guarantee anything with Terry being back next week. I cannot guarantee anything. So Sean writes they need to start a bill with JD5. Yeah, I mean, it seems like Cliff, every single game, Cliff finds a way to not have Bill out there with the group. Like he finds a way to not have Bill out there with the starting group. It's bad. They need to start Bill with JD5. Yeah, I already read that. Sorry. I already read that. But yeah. So and I also thought C-Rod was good today. I thought C-Rod was kind of a bright spot today. Everyone else though, just nothing. You didn't have anything. So sucked, man. Michael Penix cooked us today. And so did Drake London. Drake London cooked us today. Defense, just as a whole, couldn't stop the run, couldn't stop the pass, couldn't stop anything the Falcons threw at us. But if we could get another super chat, that'd be greatly appreciated. If anybody, so send your thoughts in a super chat. If we can get another super chat, that would be greatly appreciated. However, we have already hit the goal, but yeah, that doesn't mean that we can't get another super chat. So if we could get one of those, that'd be greatly appreciated. Keeps the channel running, helps me out a lot. Also, hit the like button if you have not done so yet. Let's get to 60 likes. We need to play the younger guys. I'm sorry, the lack of speed, poor tackling, defense play calling is awful. I mean, those guys, the older guys have veterans, or veterans that have experience, but the younger guys, I'd like to see how they would do, right? One of the commentators said Terry needs surgery, but he's not looking to do that during the season. I mean, if you're right about that, that's scary. However, I didn't hear that, so I don't think that's the case, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But so the Commanders top two running backs averaged 7.6 yards per carry, only got 14 carries. Absolutely ridiculous. So 14 carries per, from all the running backs today, and 7.6 yards per carry was the um average. Hand the ball off, right? Run the ball more. And even the announcers said it before the game. Even the announcers were saying before the game, like, what the Commanders are trying to do is run the ball and establish a run game. Even the announcer said it, and you didn't do it. You didn't even try. So we need to run 25 to 30 times a game. I mean, that's what most teams do. So the upcoming opponents are the Chargers and the Bears. And so again, this was the one of the easiest games in the whole season, and we couldn't win. So not a lot of hope for the rest of the year, but I'm not going to sit here and say that the season's over. I'm not going to be that guy, but I am going to say that this was a terrible performance by the team, and the defense. I didn't have any confidence in the defense. No confidence in the defense at all. No confidence in the defense at all. And sure enough, the defense let us down every time. When the defense needed to make a play, they never made a play. You knew that, like, a lot of times it's like when you see this defense, when there's a pass made, it's like there's no one around him. There's no one to stop the wide receiver. There's no one ever around. There's no one ever around the wide receiver. It's just it's absurd, to be quite honest with you. It's absurd. There's no one ever around to to stop these players, to stop these wide receivers. So it's awful. How do you feel about the Marshawn Lattimore after today's game? Terrible. He has no chance of being, his career being revived. And I have no confidence in Marshawn. If you're going to target Marshawn, I count on the wide receiver making the catch, because Marshawn Lattimore cannot stop a soul. But if you just join, make sure you hit the like button. Let's get to 60 likes on today's stream. Also, smash that subscribe button. Everyone in here, I need y'all to hit the subscribe button on the channel if you're not subscribed. Also, send a super chat. Send a super chat with your thoughts about the game in that super chat if you could do that, because it certainly helps out the channel, keeps the channel moving. But but ugly. And when I think about Marshawn Lattimore, ugly, right? Terrible. So, and he's on the hot seat, all right? He's on the hot seat. So, all of it bad. All of it bad. But let me know your thoughts about the game, though, because I had a hard time watching the game. And again, it was like whenever this defense needed to make a stop, they just could not make a stop. They couldn't make a stop. No confidence in the defense whatsoever. Falcons fan, we needed this. That's good. Good game to you. Y'all came out there. Y'all look better than us. Y'all play better than us. Y'all defense could get stops. Y'all's running backs could run the ball. Y'all's wide receivers could catch passes. Y'all's quarterback could make good throws. Y'all's quarterback could run the ball. Everything worked out for y'all. And so I'm happy for you. But now the Falcons, the Atlanta Falcons have the same record as the Washington Commanders through 4 weeks of the season. Sad to say. But again, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I should be reacting. Should I be saying that this team, that the season's over? Like, I don't know. But again, if you just joined or if you've been in here for a while and you haven't hit the like button, make sure you hit the like button on this stream. Let's get to 60 likes on the stream. Also, subscribe to the channel. This is a safe space for all NFL fans. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. But I'm just looking forward to see Jaden Daniels next week. Like, I'm tired of watching all these backups. I'm tired of it being next man up. I'm tired of the injuries. But at the same time, I don't like to sit here and make excuses for my team. We didn't lose today because of the injuries. We lost because our defense absolutely sucks. Play calling, intensity, drive, determination, and fight, we will overcome quite a bit. And I mean, I hope so. But Certainly worse than last year. I mean, the schedule from here on out, it's not easy. There's no team that we play from here on out is that's easy. Not even the Giants, not even the Bears, none of them. Not easy. Should Joey Jr. get fired? Yes. I mean, or he's on the hot seat. Either way, whatever. Right, on the hot seat, or he should get fired. Like either one, because he was terrible. So certainly at the end of the year, yes, he should be fired. JD5 needs to step up too because he already started off slow in the games he played and looked nervous. Yeah, he wasn't great, right? But he was certainly an upgrade from any other quarterback, on this team, right? It's a brutal schedule. Yeah, it is. It's a tough, hard, brutal schedule. That's what it is. And so, um, I don't look forward to playing these teams after today. That's why I said, since it's a brutal schedule, you have to go out there and you have to win today. You have to take care of today. You have to take an advantage of today, an advantage over today. And he didn't do that. So, the Giants, the Raiders, and the Falcons all had to be wins. They all had to be wins. All of them. They all had to be wins. What changes do you think we need to make for next week against the Chargers? Listen, no changes, but I just need to see Jaden and Terry back in the lineup, right? That's what I want to see. JD5 will take some time to get into his groove, hopefully sooner than later. He always does, and he will, right? He'll get into his groove. The least of our worries should be JD5, right? That, in my opinion, the least of our worries should be JD5. I think he'll be just fine. So yeah, that's the least of my worries is JD5. Certainly, he's going to be back next week. So yeah, excited to just watch an actual Jaden Daniels play football, right? And because his playmaking ability could have led us to victory today. With how bad our defense was, his playmaking ability could have led us to victory today. That alone. So we needed him today. And he was medically cleared per the announcers. So he could have played today. Do you think Trey Amos should be cornerback one? Who else is going to be cornerback one? Who else is going to be cornerback one? So yes, I do. I think he should be. Because again, who else is going to be cornerback one? You tell me. So that's my thoughts on that. Because Marshawn, no. Mike Samerstill, he had his flaws today. Sure, he had an interception. He had his flaws today. Igbenogany, I don't even ever see him on the field. So Jonathan Jones, IR. So yeah, you tell me. I mean, because it looks like Amos should be cornerback one. Even if he played, we still would have lost because our defense is trash. Yeah, I mean, again, his playmaking ability could have put us in some nice situations. He could have had some nice drives, maybe made some spectacular throws and led us to scoring drives that Marcus didn't. But even if he did play, still, that doesn't change the fact that the Falcons lost 30-0 last week and they're ready to play us. That doesn't change the fact that we beat the Falcons the past 5 years. It was just so many factors against us. So many factors against us that just hard to look at this team and say that they were going to win this game after even the first drive today. I still think that we should have hung on the on either Alameda Zaccheaus or Tinsley, if not both. Imagine how much better our receiving game would be at this point. Tinsley's a dog. So yeah. How do you feel about the wide receivers' performances today? I thought Debo was great. I thought Luke was great. He stepped up in a great way. Tay Martin, he had a catch. All right. Chris Moore, he's fine. Really, none of the wide receivers played bad today. But at the same time, none of the wide receivers really majorly stepped up for Terry. I just need to see Terry out there, right? I need to see Terry out there next week for my soul. But yeah. But no wide receiver was bad on this team. It was a combination of everybody was okay. Everybody was mid, right? And then on top of all that, the Chargers won. Or the Chargers lost to the Giants. So the Chargers are now going to be ready to come out next week and kill us. So, but if we can get one more super chat, y'all, if one of the 19 of you in here could send a super chat, if we could get just one more super chat, that would be greatly appreciated. Also, smash the like button for me. Let's get to 60 likes on the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed to this channel. So, um, but our defense is scary. Like, and they aren't our defense. I'm not saying they're scary in a good way. They're scary. They're scary in a bad way for us. Meaning they're gonna give up uh, lot of things, right? A lot of bad drives, right? This defense this year is gonna be. I already have a feeling it's gonna be bad. So, but 34-27, 2-2. Yikes for this team. Yikes for this team. But defense got to go. The defense has to go, right? Joe Witt Jr. has to go. So Joe Witt Jr. has been terrible today, but has been terrible this year. I don't really know what else to say though, because this team, they should be able to go out there and beat a Falcons team, that you feel like just really has not been that great this year. You should be able to go out there and beat a Falcons team like that, and they also lost 30-0 to the Panthers. I mean, we're gonna have to hear the whole rest of the year. We're gonna have to hear that. Oh, you lost to the Falcons, who lost to the Panthers 30-0. It blows my mind that we lost to a team that lost to the Panthers by 30 points, and the Panthers held them to 0 points, and it's just like, why can't we do that? Are we that much worse than the Panthers defense? I'd rather have the Panthers defense. So, what specifically do you think our defense needs to work on? Tackling, coverage, penalties, coverage, tackling, all of the above, all of the above, all of it, all of it. That's what I think. All of it, all of it. So that's my opinion on that, because it's been ugly so far this year. And again, we knew in the Packers game that it was just we knew in the Packers game that it was going to be a rough one, right? It was going to be a rough year on the defensive side of the ball. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But if you're just joining or you've been in here for a while, make sure you smash the like button. Let's get to 60 likes on today's stream. Also, subscribe to the channel. If you are in here and you happen to not be subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Also, send your thoughts on the game today in a super chat. If we could just get one more super chat, that'd be greatly appreciated. If we could get one more super chat, that'd be greatly appreciated. Send your thoughts in the super chat. But I'm starting to side-eye Peters. I'm not. Peters, listen, the Joe Witt Jr. hiring, it's not great. Marshall Lattimore trade, not great. But you cannot tell me that at the time when we traded for Marshall Lattimore, everybody was on board with the Marshall Lattimore trade. Every single person in this fan base was on board with the Marshall Lattimore trade. Don't even tell me otherwise, because that's a lie. So I'm not side-eyeing Peters. I'm not. Because we still have like I said, we still have a bright future. We're still ahead of schedule. And we still have, a lot of time here. And you got to remember that the Eagles started out 2-2 last year. The Eagles were 2-2 last year at one point. So there's still time to make this up. But again, you would like to beat a team like the Falcons. You would like to be 3-1. And you would like to take care of the teams that are perceived to be the easiest teams to play this year on your schedule, right? That's what you would like. But they didn't do it. And injuries have plagued us this year. Yes, injuries have plagued us this year. But was injuries the reason we lost today? No, it wasn't. They weren't. Injuries were not reasons we lost today. Let's be honest, the offense bailed out this team last year. I agree. Yes. So I'm not too surprised the D is still struggling. If we cannot clean up the sloppy play and penalties, we are in trouble. Yes, right? If we can't clean the penalties up, we can't clean the bad tackling up, we can't clean the coverage up, we are in a lot of trouble. You're right. And last year, one of the things the defense has improved on this year that I'll give them their candy for is they've improved on the run defense slightly. Not much, slightly. They've improved on the run defense. But they certainly have a lot of things to work on. And like that's why I said JD5 could have bailed the defense out today if he played. But he didn't play. And Marcus is just not that guy to bail out the defense with how bad they played. When the defense needed to make stops, they couldn't make stops. When the defense needed to make some type of play, they couldn't make that play. Couldn't make that play. So it's bad. It was bad. It was hard to watch. And again, I've said this multiple times this stream, but on one of those last drives, when we had to make a stop, I had no confidence in the defense. There was no confidence in this defense whatsoever. No confidence. So, couldn't get any stops, couldn't get any momentum. No confidence in the defense whatsoever. So, that's what I think about it. But certainly, hopefully they fix some things on this defense and they improve this defense throughout the year. And again, if Joe Witt Jr., continues to look this awful, then it'll probably be Quinn by the end of the year taking over the play calling duties. So we'll see. But it'll probably be him taking over the play calling duties, if I had to imagine. But yes, the run D is definitely improved, especially with the addition of Kinlaw. It is. And yeah, I mean, there's no denying that the run defense is much improved, right? It's definitely improved. It's definitely better. But it's still not where you want it to be because Bijan definitely had a great game today against us. Bijan was definitely great against us. So yeah, he was great against us. But but I just, I just wanted to see this team win this game today. Come out here with a W. But yeah, so. But let me see what Sean says here. Kinlaw was only good against the Giants. He's been good in other games this year, right? He wasn't great today. Like I'm not gonna lie, Kinlaw was bad today, but he hasn't been. The run defense has not been as bad as it was last year. Like that's what I'll say. So, hopefully they improve though. But yeah, I don't know. He sucked today and against the Packers. Yeah, I mean, there's been games where he hasn't showed up, right? But I can't sit here and act like Kinlaw has been the worst addition ever. Like, and we're not overpaying. For those of you saying we're overpaying him, we're not overpaying him. But if you just joined or you've been in here for a while, make sure you guys hit the like button on today's stream. Let's get to 60 likes on today's stream. Also, smash that subscribe button if you're in here and you're not subscribed. Also, send a super chat if you would like to send your thoughts in a super chat about the game today. That would be greatly appreciated. Let's see. Raiders up 7-3 over the Bears. Rams up 13-10 over the Colts. So, a lot of good games going on right now. But yeah, so Javon Kinlaw did say after the game that Javon Kinlaw did say after the game, he said we need to tackle better. So, like that accountability by him. He said we need to tackle better. So, good to hear that he took accountability for it. But that's going to do it for me today, though. That was the post game. Ugly loss for the Washington Commanders today. Ugly loss for your Commanders today, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Today was not our day. We didn't find any success today. Today was not our day. So that's going to do it for me. You guys, make sure you leave a like on the stream on the way out. Make sure you all hit the like button on this stream if you have not done so on the way out. You guys have a great rest of your afternoon. Let's root on a big Cowboys loss tonight. We need a big Cowboys loss tonight. Otherwise, that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys for kicking it with me for now. Commanders take the L 34-27 over the Atlanta Falcons. Hit the like button on the way out. Hit the subscribe button if you're in here, you're not subscribed. That's going to do it.